top stories. Ross University student attacked by shark. Carnival committee planning for Sugar Mass 50, and Panorama champions express hope for Pan in 2021. We'll be right back with the details after this.
In your formative years, we were there. When you got the good news and the bad, we were right there with you. Through all your great adventures, we were always right by your side. Now that life has thrown us a curveball, we are still here. And as we navigate this difficult period, the SKCCU will continue to be there for you and your family to help you through. We will assist you in safely and efficiently accessing your funds through our digital platforms, online banking, mobile banking, ATMs, and even our drive-through services. We can get through this together with responsible financial decisions by making food and medication a priority, practicing proper hygiene, maintaining social distancing, and constant prayer.
We're here for you. We're still here. We will get through this together.
SKCCU will continue to be your financial partner for life.
Without limits, happy free. Skin your ring with no apology. Want to seize the day. Have a melody. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Who you know you can be. Have a melody. Live, love, be. Angus to a lemon, lime and bitters. Live, love, be.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. A student of Ross University is in hospital for treatment after reportedly being attacked by a shark on Saturday. Director of Marine Resources Mark Williams said the incident occurred sometime between 9 and 10 a.m. on Saturday, and the Coast Guard, who responded to the emergency, found the injured female victim on a kayak in the Narrows between St. Kitts and Nevis. ZIZ understands that the woman was reportedly attacked by a shark and was seriously injured. She was rushed to the hospital and her leg had to be amputated. She is expected to be flown out for further medical attention. On Saturday, the Department of Marine Resources issued a statement saying the Federation is experiencing an increase in the reports of shark and human interactions within our exclusive economic zone. The statement said the department is asking all users of the ocean to be extremely cautious when using the marine environment. Following on the success of Sugar Mass 49, the National Carnival Committee has begun planning for the 50th Sugar Mass celebrations in 2021. In an interview with ZIZ, Carnival Committee Chair Shannon Hawley said the virtual staging of Sugar Mass 49 gave the committee a chance to re-evaluate Carnival and find ways to revive it and make it more successful. She said in 2021 they'll be keeping the virtual aspect, which has received high praise this past season.
The production was a very, very high standard and we have to maintain it. So I think the challenge for the Carnival Committee now is to surpass what we would have done for the 49th anniversary in terms of the production of the events, and also that element of ensuring that even if we are able to have a live audience for the 50th anniversary, to still have that virtual element, because I think it's very important for individuals living overseas, carnival lovers overseas, even people here who may not necessarily want to come to the shows, to still have the opportunity to log on online and support the National Carnival events online.
She said this year will also see the return of the pageants and the Soca Monarch competition.
That is what the intention is, of course, the National Carnival Committee will be doing for the 50th anniversary is ensuring that the Soca Monarch competition is back. We see the Soca Monarch competition in various islands as one of the biggest competitions. So there is no reason why St. Kitts and Nevis cannot have the same energy in our Soca Monarch. So that is what we're going to be looking at for the 50th anniversary, bringing it back.
Chair of the National Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley. Meanwhile, co-CEO of Panorama winners EBJ Harmonics, Omandi Byron, says he hopes in 2021 Steel Pan would see growth in the Federation. In an interview with ZIZ News, Mr. Byron said following on the successful competition, he hopes that Pan will continue to expand in St. Kitts and Nevis and persons can recognize it even more and would have a love for it as other countries do.
Pan is a great instrument, and for me that was always my dream from since Boots died, is just to continue this legacy, continue Pan within the country, seeing it become and seeing St. Kitts be recognized throughout all the other islands as one where Pan is found, where Pan is known for, where Pan players can strive, where people can come and listen Pan and be like, wow, okay then, am I solid Pans in Trinidad?
He said he would like to see an investment into training for the tuning of steel pans as well, as Melvin Melly Hewlett is the only person on island with that skill.
There is nobody else here that can tune pans, so God forbid when his time comes, that aspect would have gone with him. So I would have liked the powers here to, step in and be like, okay then, we can get someone, send a few persons, or bring in someone that can help tune or help train persons here that can tune this thing, because tuning, if we're able to look up tuning, it is a big business, where one man can get close to $8,000 just to tune a pan or tune a band. So I would just hope that they could see what an investment it is and just push into that.
Earl Boots Jones Harmonics won the 2020 Panorama competition with their version of Sand to the Beach by Menace. Coming up, we'll have another look at some of the stories from the past week. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, National Bank presents Showtime! Only in December, National Bank is offering a loan 2 times your annual salary, up to $75,000 unsecured. You heard right, 2 times your annual salary, up to $75,000 unsecured. There's even an option to pay interest only until November 2021. Call your closest branch to make an appointment. Remember, it's showtime at National. Terms and conditions apply. National Bank, always here.
The Ministry of National Security says information being circulated on social media about new taxes is inaccurate and false. In a statement on Tuesday, Permanent Secretary Osmond Petty said the ministry is aware that certain proposals made by the ministry during the budget estimates process in preparation for the 2021 budget are being circulated in the public domain and are being misrepresented.
None of the proposals advanced by the ministry constitute any new taxes or any increase in taxes. The focus is on fees and charges for various services offered by the ministry to better align them with the cost of delivering such services to the general public.
Mr. Petty said all of the proposed fees and charges for various licenses and government permits are still before the Cabinet for determination. He said the charging of new fees by the police for processing renewal of firearms licenses was inadvertently implemented, as this too would require a submission to Cabinet for approval. Mr. Petty went on to condemn the spreading of misinformation regarding the proposed fees.
It is quite unfortunate, irresponsible and malicious for a discussion document that was presented to Cabinet as part of the budgetary process to be leaked to social media.
The ministry continues to urge the public to look to official government sources for accurate information. The police are investigating the sudden death of a footballer in St. Peter's on Tuesday. ZIZ understands that Jamani Stevens collapsed and died during training on Tuesday evening. A police source told ZIZ that the cause of death is unknown and is being treated as a sudden death investigation. An autopsy may be performed at a later date. We'll keep you informed as the investigation unfolds. The Republic of China Taiwan has pledged to assist St. Kitts and Nevis's effort to procure additional COVID-19 vaccines once they become available under the COVID-19 Vaccine Global Access Facility, or COVAX. Here's more.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws said that the pledge was made by Taiwan's resident ambassador, His Excellency Tom Lee, during a visit to the Ministry of Health on Wednesday, January 6th. She said, quote, "The Republic of China Taiwan is making a very generous donation to the Federation of US $600,000 towards the procurement of vaccines." She added that St. Kitts and Nevis previously made the required down payment to the COVAX arrangement to make available enough vaccines to cover 20% of the population in the initial stages. Taiwan has been a reliable partner in St. Kitts and Nevis's war against the novel coronavirus. Taiwan previously made donations of personal protective equipment to the government. These included ventilators, N95 face masks, thermal camera sets, forehead thermal guns, protective clothing, isolation gowns, and testing machines. Several countries have given emergency approval to use vaccines against COVID-19 among their populations. Persons are receiving vaccines manufactured by Pfizer-BioNTech as well as Moderna. The United Kingdom recently approved a vaccine manufactured by Oxford AstraZeneca for emergency use by its population.
After the break, Brazilians flocked to the beach despite a second wave of COVID deaths, and Trump supporters turn to alt-tech social media platforms. Stay tuned.
Here's how I pay my flow bills using the MyFlow app in just 3 easy steps. First, I downloaded the free app from the App Store. Then, I opened the app and logged in with my Flow ID. I activated my Flow ID earlier for free at flowid.co. I clicked on the account number and watched the magic begin. All my bills and the info right there at my fingertips. Just confirm the payment amount, then card details, and that's it. No trips to town, no long lines, and no hassle. Flow is keeping me connected.
Regionally, authorities across Brazil and other countries in Latin America have imposed tough new measures to try to limit the rise of a second wave of COVID-19 deaths and infections. The moves come with the discovery in the region of more infectious variants of the virus. More people are being vaccinated, but growing numbers are defying the restrictions by traveling and partying. Al Jazeera's Daniel Schrimler reports.
This is not what medical experts had in mind when urging people to take measures to restrict the spread of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Packed beaches in Rio de Janeiro and elsewhere in Brazil, where infections top 8 million.
Não houve o mínimo planejamento de compras.
There hasn't been any bare minimum planning and logistical organization for the establishment of a feasible vaccination plan. Brazil is at the end of the line and last for the start of a mass immunization program against COVID-19.
There are similar tales of crowding on beaches in Argentina, and this video taken at a seaside party in Chile. Thousands more people are preparing to escape hot and cramped cities to join them.
During the first weekend of January, it's estimated about 55,000 people will travel from the Santiago metropolitan region, which is the equivalent of about 2,000 buses leaving our capital.
However, the number of deaths and infections continue to rise. Brazil, still without a national vaccine program, is one of the world's worst affected, with 200,000 dead.
Meu papel de irmã, de filha, de sobrinha.
My obligation as a sister, daughter and niece is to put the names of my family forward so people can understand the risk from this disease and that no one is immune, no matter your social class, race or religion. We are all at risk of losing our lives from the disease.
Researchers in Brazil have meanwhile confirmed that a woman who contracted the virus last May was later reinfected with the super virulent South African strain. And in Peru, a massive national testing program is underway, focused on the most vulnerable, after scientists discovered the highly infectious strain of the virus first found in the UK. Tight travel restrictions have been imposed across Latin America. This was seen in the Colombian capital Bogotá, where 85% of hospital beds are occupied with COVID-19 patients.
Please cooperate for the sake of life and health, for all the people, for the world, for the country and for everything else.
Vaccination programs are underway across Latin America, but while many respect the restrictions to control the pandemic, thousands more don't, while the numbers of dead and dying continue to rise. Daniel Schreimer, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Internationally, a disturbing video has emerged from Wednesday's U.S. Capitol riot in Washington, D.C. It includes one of the rioters venting their anger towards against Vice President Mike Pence as they entered the building. The attack has triggered a debate about how politicians use social media platforms to incite people. Smaller so-called alt-tech platforms are now being criticized for their roles in the events. Here's more.
Following an unprecedented attack on the U.S. Capitol building, many are asking whether President Donald Trump incited his supporters to commit acts of violence. During the chaos, Trump tweeted his view that Vice President Mike Pence lacked the courage to try and change November's presidential election results. Twitter immediately restricted that post, citing a risk of violence. Meanwhile, the crowd could be heard chanting, The president's comments came as members of Congress and the vice president were certifying the election results. Twitter later suspended his account and warned that his supporters are planning future armed protests on January 17th. Now, the smaller so-called alt-tech platforms are being criticized for their roles in the events. Gab saw a 40% increase in traffic during the attack, with some in the crowds allegedly using it to try and find the vice president who was sheltering in the building. Parler, which has gained more than 12 million users in the past year, is viewed as a safe haven for those who've also been removed from Twitter. It removed this post from a pro-Trump attorney, but that kind of limited enforcement action wasn't enough for Amazon, which has removed Parler's web hosting services, calling it a very real risk to public safety. Google and Amazon have removed it from their app stores. Parler says an anti-competitive pack of big tech tyrants is working together to stifle competition in the social media marketplace.
Of course, like everybody else, we were horrified by a lot of the incitement that was going on this week, and we are doing everything that we can within our principles to, deal appropriately with that content. And we work with law enforcement as well. But that content has been everywhere this week. This has been a very unusual week, and to be singled out, we think, is quite unfair.
Internet safety activist Larry Magid says there is value in services that allow people to express their views where the public and also law enforcement can see them.
If people want to use the internet to conspire, they're going to find a way to do it, whether it's Parler or Gab or the dark web or however they're able to do it. See, people will, but it won't have the kind of reach that Trump now has, for example, with his, or had until yesterday, with his 88 million Twitter followers. It'll be a darker portion of the web.
We'll be right back with a recap of the top stories. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry? Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
We now wrap up with a recap of the top stories. Ross University student attacked by shark. Carnival committee planning for Sugar Mass 50. And Panorama champions express hope for Pan in 2021. And that's it for the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Davis.